Is it safe to assume that most of your parents are retired or almost about to retire? Yeah? Yeah. No, it's just a polite way of asking how old you are. Okay, just don't get carried away. Yeah, my dad retired a few years ago. And he was a very busy man, very strict man. So I was like, now that he has time, I'll spend some time with him. Father-son time. He'll get to know me, I'll get to know him. It all went south because last month he saw me eating and he was like, hey, you're a lefty, huh? How hard was he working? Jeez. Yeah, I wish someone had told me that if your parents are about to retire, pay close attention to them. Otherwise, they do random shit. Yeah, because half the things my dad says, I can't understand. For months, he's been telling me on the phone, Aditya, what a great life we have had, right? We've gone from 16 channels to 1600 channels. I had no idea what he was talking about. Last week when I visited his house, I opened his smart TV, logged on to YouTube. He subscribed to 1693 YouTube channels. You know the beginning of the video when the guy comes and says, like, share, subscribe. This man thinks it's compulsory. And then he's like, look, we are successful. But not all is bad. Not all is bad. If your parents retire, you can use them like weapons. Do you go to those restaurants where they ask you for your phone number? Yeah, you never want to give your phone number, right? But they make up some shit reason. Sir, the chef doesn't make the starter until I enter. Now when they ask me for my number, I give them my dad's number. Yeah. They send him offers, he stores their number. He sends them forwards, they block him. Very easy. I'll give it away to you for $500. Just talk to me after the show. Yeah. Works on international lines also, don't worry. Yeah. He doesn't differentiate. Yeah. But man, he worked really hard. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. We used to only go to restaurants like once in 6 months. Sad, right? Once in 6 months. Yeah. Then my grandmom passed away. So we started going once in 4 months. That's how maths work. There was a hole in our heart, but also surplus in the budget. Yeah. Yeah. The only problem is, this is a bad example to set for a child. Because the same year, few months later, my grandfather was on his deathbed. And my mom said, Aditya, pray. Once in 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tata. Yeah. Even once in 6 months, we went to the type of restaurants, the likes of which only exist in India, you know, where when you give the order to the waiter gives the order to the cook standing next to you, but loudly. You know, you're like, one paneer. He's like, paneer! He doesn't take the order, he amplifies it. Now the entire restaurant knows that my dad cannot afford starters. Not a good place to be. Yeah, money was tight, you know, like any middle class people here? Yeah, you guys all agree, but every time I start telling these jokes, people are like, sounds like you were just poor, bro. So just checking, you know. Yeah, saving electricity was like a sport in our house. Do you know that word turn off, man? That's a positive word in my house. You turn the switches off, my dad got turned on. Man of very peculiar taste. Dude, he read electricity bills way more carefully than he read my report cards. You know, there was this one time we got the bill, it was more than what he expected. This would have been the first time an Indian got mad at the government for not doing power cuts. Right? Like, we gotta vote this guy out. They're too efficient. Dude, we could not afford efficiency. Tough, money was tight. We recycled and reused everything. You know, I'm sure most of your houses did. Milk packets, bubble wrap, that kind of stuff. My dad recycled his jokes also. Every year I would go to him with my report card, he would correct the same joke. He'd be like, progress report, huh? Progress to nahi dikh raha hai mujhe. I'm like, Dad, you cracked this joke last year also. Mujhe bhi nahi dikh raha hai progress. What the hell, dude? Yeah. Have you heard this phrase? You know what tastes better than freshly cooked food? Exactly 1 day old food. Have you heard this? Yeah. If you've not heard this, you're fortunate. Your parents were happily married. Because when your parents are not, they fight. And when they fight, one of them doesn't eat. What happens to the food? The kid has to eat it the next day. My parents were so unhappily married. By Thursday, we had my parents' entire failed marriage buffet. Like, this is dal from Monday when grandmom called bitch. Yeah. This is paneer from Tuesday when mom called dad spineless, Pleasant memories like that. Yeah. So we did all that, okay? Now that my dad has woken up from his coma in his retirement, he came up to me and he was like, Aditya, do you know that the planet is dying? And he said it like people were hiding this truth from him and he investigated and found out. He's like, do you know that the planet is dying? Like, did you not? And then he was like, don't worry. The article says what you should do to save the planet. Turn off switches when you don't need them. Don't waste food. Take public transport. He's like, you thought I was poor, I was just environment friendly. Yeah. The one thing that I don't have the heart to tell my dad is take public transport. Public transport is not possible. Do you guys remember amusement parks? Yeah, that magical place. At home you were sad, at school you were bullied, but at amusement parks, you were amused. Yeah. Always delivered on its promise. Amusement parks, the main attraction in the amusement parks used to be that ride, that car, bumping car, dashing cars. That's right, before the world had Kardashians. We had Dashkarians, yeah. See, all the comedians told me this is a bad joke, please don't do it. Fuck them, first of all. Yeah. Secondly, bad jokes are like farts. You never mind your own. Yeah. You feel a little bit of guilt, but there's relief also. Yeah, I'm not actually farting, bro. Yeah. I saw your hands moving towards your nose. Relax. Yeah. So anyway, the whole point of this dashing car ride is you sit in the car, you bump into another car and go, that's it. That's the enjoyment, okay? Once a year, my dad would come in this ride and he wouldn't bump a single car. He would go around the perimeter. On the way, he would yell, hey, lekke chala! Because that was the only way he could ride a car. And guess what? That was electric. So I think he's done his part. Now he has a real car, he's driving it on real roads, banging into real people. But he's worked very hard for this. I'm going to let him have this one. All right, here's a trick, okay? Comedians do this thing when they're moving from one topic to the other. We do a segue joke, so that you're not like, hey, how did he change the topic? What is it called? Segue. I don't have it, so next topic. Yeah. Next topic. Ma'am, do you have any female best friends?
Of course.
Oh, great way to lead life, man. See, I'm married, okay? Yeah, that's right. I'm taken for granted in my relationship. Yeah. All her life, my wife only had male best friends. Yeah? Or as I like to refer to them, undercover lovers. They're like those ticketless passengers who are waiting for you to fuck up. You get up, motherfucker. I was so insecure, but at age 31, my wife found her first female best friend. Her life changed after that. I was like, what is so amazing about having a female best friend? She was like, dude, we get manicures and pedicures together. I was like, wow. Like, we discuss our careers and aspirations. I was like, wow. We discuss sex lives. I was like, whoa. Hold on. And we watch Netflix. I'm like, no, go back. Dude, that makes me nervous. I thought I was insecure before. This is way worse. Because her best friend, she keeps coming home. Now, whenever she comes home, I'm looking into her eyes to see if I've satisfied my best friend. This is a tough woman to please. Other friend, not the wife. Yeah. Wife is a breeze. Yeah, I'm like, she came. Yeah. You guys a couple? Friends, okay. Let me give you some advice. If you're planning on getting into a serious relationship, decide at the beginning of the relationship which one of you will fill water bottles for life. Yeah. Very important. Because if you don't, the default rule is whoever is the lesser attractive between the two has to do it till they die. No. Like, have you ever seen a couple on the road where you're like, hey, that girl is too good looking for him. What is she doing with him? He's keeping her hydrated. Okay, that's... Yeah, some guys get their women wet, some hydrate them. Both heroes. No, I only bring this up because I'm married and I have hydration duties. I don't mind, I'm okay with filling the water bottles except, You know, it's every bottle I fill is a reminder that I'm less attractive than her. Yeah, it's like every time she gets thirsty, I feel ugly, right? This is not what I meant when I said thirst trap. Yeah. The entire time the water is filling, all I can think about is how my wife and I are exactly opposite kinds of people. And you know that phrase, right? Opposites argue a lot. Exactly. That's what I'm also saying. You attract for 5 minutes, argue for 50 years. Then you die. That's it. The thing is, like I said, I'm okay filling the bottles, but my wife bought this annoying water purifier, which doesn't dispense water immediately. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you press the button, it loads for 10 minutes. While it's loading, it plays that shitty music. Like ta-na-na-na-na-na. It feels like somewhere an alto has to reverse for the water to come out. And once it's done loading, it loads water at 1 ml per second. That's a lot of time to think of different ways to kill your wife. That's your Just this thing, okay. This thing has really started bothering me. Have you seen Indian cricketers in ads these days? They've started playing character roles now. That's how popular they are. They've gotten cocky. There's a furniture ad where Anushka Sharma is playing Anushka Sharma and her husband is being played by a Sardar Virat Kohli. What the fuck, dude? But you still are like, yeah, I know that's Kohli. On the other hand, have you seen Indian footballers in ads? You must have. You probably didn't recognize them. Yeah. Poor bastards. They have to wear the entire kit for the ad. They have to wear the shoes, the stockings, the shorts, the jersey, hold a football in their hand. After that, people are like, "Kaun hai?" When that doesn't work in the ad, they talk amongst themselves. When you were in the Indian football team. When I was in the Indian football. You football, me football, football. People are like, I think they sell footballs. What the f***? No, they're athletes too, dude. But here's the thing, okay? A few years ago, I was on a plane and sitting next to me was Sunil Chhetri. Oh. Yeah, that Instagram motivational speaker, yeah. And I'm saying it because most people don't care, okay? But I'm a huge fan, okay? I wanted to say, Mr. Chhetri, I'm a big fan, but I was like, you know what, let's play it cool, let the plane settle down. 5 minutes went by, dude. No one recognized him. And I got angry on his behalf. I was like, he's the captain of the Indian national football team, you uneducated fools. Nothing. Another 5 minutes went by, no one recognized him again. I got even more furious. I was like, he has the highest number of goals for his country, world, exactly. Yeah, then another 5 minutes went by, and no one recognized him again. But I was not mad anymore. Because those were the only two things I knew about Sunil Chhetri. I had to learn more to save Indian football. And then I spent the next 5 minutes thinking, no one has recognized him. Is he even Sunil Chhetri? What if I'm like, Mr. Chhetri, I'm a big fan. He's like, dude, I'm tensing from Aizwal. I work in Accenture. Then my friends who were sitting at the back of the plane, they were passing by and they recognized me. They're like, hey, Aditya, how are you? Sunil Chhetri is like, who the fuck are you, bro? Well, it turns out it wasn't Sunil Chhetri. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? A few years ago, during the pandemic, when it was about to end, people came up to me and they started saying stuff like, time bahut waste ho gaya. Time bahut waste ho gaya. Varna pata nahi kya ukhad rahe the log. Because these are the same people who'll come tell you a story for 10 minutes. With excruciating detail, like really annoying details, like I'm doing right now. And after 10 minutes, they'll be like, anyway, long story short, there is a shorter version. You asshole. What the fuck? That's what we do, right? We all waste time. Like my dad was trying to do this. He was trying to make me remember the names of our neighbors from like 30 years ago. I was just 2 years old then, okay? And he was giving me all these details. He's like, Dhanraj uncle yaad hai kya tere ko? Dhanraj uncle? I don't know why Indian parents think second time you will get it. First time they phrase it like a question. Second time they're like, now you're acting too stubborn. So he started to give me all these details. Okay, dude, Dhanraj uncle. His son ran away with that North Indian. Yeah, that uncle sat on a chewing gum while wearing lungi. When he got up, the lungi didn't come off. I was like, no, what about them? He's like, anyway, long story short, their son died in an accident last week. Dude, start with that, dude. But in all fairness, he didn't say died in an accident. He said on the spot dead. Indians love on the spot deaths. We are not terrible people. We don't want you to die in an accident. But if you're already dying, can you make it on the spot, please? We just like saying on the spot. Yeah. But we all do this. We all waste time, right? Have you ever tried to tell a story from like 5-6 years ago? And in the middle of the story, if you can't remember the detail, you put your friend under pressure. Yeah, you're like, अरे कौन था यार वो? था ना आदित्य पहले में था. और उसकी माँ छोड़ने आती थी कौन था? I'm like, you just don't remember the name or what? There is a point when you're doing this when your friend starts to get it. Your friend's like, yeah. Have you realized once he starts to guess, you give up? You're like, now it's your responsibility. You let me know, otherwise I can't sleep at night. And that guy spends 10 minutes, he's like, who was it, man? Who was it? Prakash. That's when you get to feel like a god. You give an approval, right? You're like, Prakash. Fucking Prakash. You're like, what about Prakash? Nothing, I just remembered him. Yeah. Here's the thing, we should be allowed to kill these people, but we don't, right? Because we're polite. Yeah, young people think politeness is a waste of time, right? But as you grow old, you realize that politeness is not a waste of time. Wastage of time is politeness. Yeah. I'll give you an example. If you go to your friend's house and your friend's mom says, "Beta, khana kha ke jao," you can't agree immediately. You have to do the entire dance. Nahi, auntie, main kha gaya. I will shy, auntie. No, auntie. Yeah, if you agree immediately, you're a creep. There was this one time, one of my friends came home. It was dinner time. My mom was like, "Kshitij, khana kha ke ja." Okay. 17 years later, still not allowed in my house. Fucking creep, Kshitij. Yeah. There was this one time, someone called on the landline. Okay, and he wanted to talk to my dad. My dad's name is Natrajan. So he was like, "Hello, Natrajan hai kya?" I was like, "नहीं, वो बाहर गए." He's like, "मैं सुंदर बोल रहा हूँ." मतलब फिर भी बाहर ही गए, dude. What is that information doing? Nothing. But he got mad because I didn't waste time. Yeah. There was this, my name is Aditya Natrajan, right? So I'm obviously a South Indian. But when people ask me where I'm from and I give them an answer they don't like, they waste a little bit of time. They're like, "Aditya Natrajan. Where are you from?" I'm like, "Pune, dude." He's like, "No, where are you from proper?" I'm like, "Dude, Pune, dude." He's like, "Where are your parents from?" I'm like, "Pune, dude." That's when he's like, "Okay, fine. खानदानी जमीन किधर है?" "किधर भी नहीं, dude. तो बता काम क्या है तेरे को?" What the fuck? Anyway, hold on a second. I forgot the point of the story. Yeah. No, all I'm saying is, long story short, don't waste anybody's time. Here's the thing, okay? I'm a Tamilian. And because I'm a Tamilian, I face this problem during Diwali every year. Every year I go and wish people, "Happy Diwali." And people are like, "Diwali aaj nahi hai, pagal. Diwali kal hai." This happens because Tamilians celebrate Diwali one day before everyone else. Last year I asked my mom, why? Why do we celebrate one day before? Her explanation, she was like, जब राम लंका से वापस आ रहे थे ना, तो असम तमिलनाडु पहले आता है.